Moving on to 23.
All right, utility districts.
Yes.
I don't know how familiar council is with underground utility districts. It's a mechanism in the municipal code and in the Public Utilities Commission where basically we have the ability to establish an underground district area, and then through our municipal code, it basically prohibits any overhead utilities in that area. So you'll have overhead PG&E, telephone, communications like Comcast, AT&T. Right here, I listed an example area. This was a previous project back in 2009 from Shasta to Plumas on Bridge Street, where we undergrounded that area when we did the improvement. So I took a screenshot. On the top is a 2007 picture, and then on the bottom is a 2009 picture. Kind of show the difference. And so what we do is there's through the Public Utilities Commission, they're required to collect a tax basically from the utilities, from the people. So the program with PG&E is called Rule 20A. So every bill that we pay to PG&E, they keep a small percentage of that, and then they disperse the revenues among the cities and counties to put in our Rule 20A conversion program. And so over time, we build up a balance of these Rule 20A funds that could be used for converting overhead utilities to underground. Currently, the only active project that we have on the books is Sutter County is a joint project on 2nd Street from Tea Garden down to C Street. That is a partnership where the Sutter County requested that since we're the primary agency, since it's within our jurisdiction, the county transferred $2.8 million of their credits into the city to lead the project, and it's kind of a joint effort where right now we've broken that area in blue. I don't know if you can see it there. It's not real right, but basically we've broken. This is a priority project for us right in the middle, anyways, phase 1, because it has to do with undergrounding associated with 5th Street Bridge. So these projects aren't fast by any means, because PG&E is the lead. There has to be a lot of coordination with all of the players involving Comcast, AT&T, and then most of them are, they're all developed areas and trying to figure out how to convert them into the ground and connect to the businesses and who pays for what and associated easements. So unfortunately, all these projects, the typical lifespan is about 5 to 7 years. As to why some of the yellow, you can see the different colors where for different reasons they were initiated as underground districts, and then over time priorities have changed. And so these districts were formed, but they were either completed or put on hold. And so right now the only active project that we have is this 2nd Street, and we're working on phase 1 associated with the bridge. What staff would like to do, we looked at the annual allocation this year, and if you take the 3.4 million we have plus if you don't count the 2.8 the county gave us and that we're going to spend on the 2nd Street Bridge, and you add some available money where they allow you to front up to 5 years worth of funds, we have about $4.3 million of available balance. And so with a priority to improve Bridge Street corridor from Highway 99 to the bridge, city staff wants to come forward to council and start the process of let's prioritize these funds again, so we have some direction on what to do. And staff recommends to put that on the Bridge Street corridor because based on let me back up a little bit. These numbers are estimates, and over time they'll change, but we're hoping we're close. Is that basically the average lineal foot cost to underground is about $700. They're telling us $650 to $700 a lineal foot to put stuff underground. If you break that down, we have about 6,000 lineal feet that we could play with of where to prioritize those locations. And so based on previous recommendations, previous areas of interest, and then also with the new focus on the Fifth Street Bridge and the Bridge Street corridor, staff's put this kind of a priority list together for recommendation. But we're coming forward to you guys for recommendation if you have a particular interest. But so, as you can see on the Bridge Street corridor, we're talking about from Highway 99 up to Plumas, and then the Plumas Shasta is already underground, and then we would look to try to clean up that area from Shasta up to 2nd Street, or tying into that bridge area there. And the money is real close. You know, we're talking about 4.9. A lot of things change over time. You know, it's going to take 5 to 7 years to get there. So we continue to get an allocation every year, about 169,000, 170,000. Also, we've had some preliminary talks with the county that with regional benefit, they might be willing to contribute some of their funds. And so with that, I'd be open to questions. We're recommending to move forward with the priority list so staff could start the process to basically prioritize Bridge Street and come back, set up a utility district, underground district, and start PG&E on the process to underground those lines.
Council?
To the mayor.
Yes.
The benefit to this on the Bridge Street corridor is we have the majority of the poles are directly behind curb. So they're closer, in many instances, closer to the roadway edge. And I think that just given the safety nature of getting these removed, the overhead constraints, the less worry in high winds, this is going to become a corridor that provides travel for probably in the vicinity of about 30 to maybe 38,000 daily vehicle trips. And I think that as we clean that corridor up, there's going to be truck traffic still in that area, and certainly provides a much cleaner corridor and a safer corridor through our city from 99 all the way over to Marysville. That's just my input on the priority list that we see in front of us.
Any other? Anybody on this? I know that we're going to be doing other road improvement projects on different streets, like Franklin. We're hoping to be able to widen that and some things. So while that's on a hold list, I would be really hopeful that we could at least review that one. I guess it's District 98-4, since we're going to be doing something there to try to do some undergrounding there as possible. I know it's limited funding and stuff, but just at least give a report on what it would take and some process for that. And then also I noticed that you have a Bridge Street Gray to Cooper on hold. And I was just curious as to...
So that district was established in the 90s, late 90s. And my understanding,
changes.
for right-of-way reasons and
Wait a minute. I must be...
it was in the
I'm
staff
sorry.
report. It was in the staff report.
I forgot that was the old one. That was the old list.
It was
My
the
apologies.
oldest, yeah.
I forgot to flip the page back over to the part. Okay. But the one on the Franklin, I would really definitely like that one considered, since we're going to be doing all that road work and curbs and gutters and stuff like that. So
Mr. Mayor, what we would encourage is your council, if you find the priorities that are suggested by staff, to if there's a preferred project that you'd like to change in the priority setting, please let us know. Additionally, I think, or I know that Mr. Moody mentioned that we're going to be inquiring with the county. Maybe there are certain areas that we have annexed into the city from the county, that the county would considering using those funds for those areas that weren't, that have opportunity for improvement.
And in that location, county actually still has some of the road in that section anyway, like two blocks or so. So we could work definitely with them on that.
So what am I hearing is would you like to put that Franklin Road section on the east side of 99 to Brown, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Where would you like to see that in the number? You want me to?
I guess right now, I don't know. Since we're going to be doing the work in the next couple of years, I think it should be at least moved up to the 2, at least for consideration. And that's just, my opinion on that. He's our SACOG rep, so he would know a little bit more about possibilities of getting that road and the timeline. So.
With the priority being set as Bridge Street with priority 1, I mean, that basically sucks out all of our available money plus some. That's going to be staff's focus.
Yes.
And so I believe if we focus on that priority 1 through C tonight, that's really going to give staff direction to move forward, where we could come back and start moving. And there'd be opportunities in the future where we could talk to the county and find out what their availability.
Yeah, and that's all I'm really asking for. Sorry to be unclear on that. Is yes, the priorities that we are having for the funding we have now, definitely the way it is. But then the secondary, which ones we don't have the funding for, that we can look at some of those and
Before we
discuss
initiate
priorities later on that. Yes.
We can definitely do that.
Thank you for helping me clarify that. That's what staff's for. They're good. Appreciate it. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, some action.
I'd move to approve staff's recommendation for the priority list as stated, with moving into item number 2, the Franklin Road section east of Highway 99. I would imagine that would take us all the way down to Gray Avenue, roughly.
I'll second it.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing that, so passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.